On June 6, 1944, tens of thousands of young warriors left these shores by the sea and air to begin the invasion of Normandy and the liberation of Europe and the brutal Nazi occupation. Through their valor and sacrifice, they secured our homelands and saved freedom for the world.
So after England and a stop at his golf course in Ireland, President Trump will travel here to France with about 1 million others who are making this their destination this week as we mark the 75th anniversary of D-Day. Earlier today, I sat down with the U.S. ambassador to France, Jamie McCourt, about this important moment and what she expects when the president arrives.
I think that it's such an important anniversary celebration. First of all, the relationship between France and America is stellar. And of course, since they're our oldest ally, I think it's a real tribute to understand how much they appreciate America and how much we appreciate their friendship as well.
You know, obviously, it's been a complicated relationship between President Trump and President Macron. And the president even made a comment the last time he was here about, you know, that France needed our help sort of in bailing them out in the two world wars. How do you expect the two presidents to get along now?
Famously, I think.
As a diplomat, that's what you'd love to see, right?
I think that that's their style. I think they're both trying to do things for their country to make their countries better. I think they may have different perspectives, but they have very open conversations, and they are very comfortable agreeing and disagreeing. And so I think that's exactly how it will continue to be. And they seem to always work things out.
So the president is obviously in the United Kingdom right now. And today he said, I think the Paris Climate Accord has turned out to be something that I made absolutely the right decision on. Look at what is going on in Paris, referring to the yellow vest protests that have been going on now for some time. What do you think about that?
Well, I think they're two separate things, frankly. But in terms of the climate accord, which of course is a big subject for everyone, I think that this was not about whether he thinks there's climate change, doesn't think there's climate change. He just did not like this agreement. And I think there's plenty of instances he would be better at explaining what bothers him the most. But by way of example, the idea that America is paying for China, by way of example, as a developing nation, when in fact it's fully developed, and so consequently they have a different way of paying and a different scheme, bothered him. So he's calling it to task, and he said enough is enough. We need to do what we need to do.
A recent study showed that none of the signatories are actually living up to the climate accord agreement at this point.
Well, you know, we're not in it now, so I can't really speak to who exactly is doing what. But, you know, America does it differently. We address climate change through research, through private-public partnerships, through new companies, through startups. You know, the emissions in California for so many years were down. So I think there's, you know, a different way of approaching things. I drive a Tesla, my children drive Teslas. You know, America just does it differently.
Talk to me a little bit about the political situation here right now, because it's very interesting, and there's a really dynamic change that appears to be happening. In the recent election, you had Marine Le Pen's party, the conservative, more conservative party, winning, I think, just slightly more than Macron's party in that election. You know, she says she wants to make France great again, essentially, and that she wants to improve the economy here. I mean, those obviously are things that line up very much with what the president seems to want. In the UK, he was very supportive of Boris Johnson. Do you think that he would support Marine Le Pen over Macron when he comes to France?
I can't even imagine that happening because of his relationship with President Macron. But I think actually President Macron is in the process of transforming the country, and he has a whole agenda that he wants to implement. So hopefully he'll be able to implement his agenda.
What would you say to the president as he gets here about, you know, what he should say or not say? You know, he's always stirring it up, and he continued to do so in the United Kingdom over the past couple of days. Although I think, you know, overall it seemed to have gone very well. What would you say to him about about what he should talk about when he's here?
I don't think there's ever telling our president what he should or shouldn't say. I think he knows exactly what he wants to say. The only thing that I would say is that we should always keep in the back of our minds that France is our oldest ally. And I, as a business angel, always like to say that when we were just a startup, France was our first investor.
Ambassador LaCourt, thank you very much. Good to talk to you today.
Great to see you.